All right, Matt, go
Hey,
ahead.
Coach, how you doing?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I'm okay. You mentioned earlier in the week, Purdue offensively has run the ball much better this year than they have in years past, and the stats bear that out. They're like fourth in the conference overall, and in conference games, they're the best running team. What are they doing differently? Because it's something they've actually kind of struggled with under Braum. They could throw the ball, but couldn't really run as well. What are they doing different this year that you've seen on film?
Yeah, I mean, they're running different schemes, and they've adapted throughout the season. I think just to be able to match, their talent up front with their talent in the backfield. I think they got two really good running backs that do a good job of running what they do, and that's obviously a huge part of it. And they got a third guy that's very effective as well. So between the combination of the talent in the backfield as well as, I just think being able to adapt and run, do the things up front that their guys can do well. And it's been effective. There's no doubt about it. Obviously, the proof's in the numbers, and the film doesn't lie. And so, hats off to them for being able to adapt to their personnel and be able to get the most out of that. So obviously, it takes a ton of pressure off your throw game when you're running the ball that effectively.
Sam with the mic.
Good morning, Coach. Happy Thanksgiving.
There's something on the screen here.
End of the season, what are you looking for to build off of going forward with some of these younger players?
Yeah, I would say that has been a big emphasis this week to get a lot of those guys some good reps, and which is what you really want to be able to do is get those guys in a position to really continue to develop and also show them, kind of their, how we view them, and the guys that we've talked about that, get a chance to be in a two-role or even a three-role, and we go offense versus defense situation. We got more guys in there for that as well, and so we've really maximized that, I feel like, this week. And but obviously the objective is to win the game. That's the biggest thing we can do for next season and for momentum in the offseason is to play well and win this big game for us and for our program. So, but excited the way our young guys have responded this week and got chances to get in there, get some good reps, and then also just sit down talking to them too about how we kind of see their role expanding and growing in this offseason into next year, because we got a lot of guys that are going to be back off this team. So it's exciting for what we have moving forward.
Mike and Daniel.
Yeah, hi, Tom. In terms of, obviously the talk was before the season about how much you guys got out of the transfer portal. Now, kind of looking back at the season as a whole, what have you learned from doing that? And has it impacted you at all in terms of kind of some of the up and down nature with all the new faces? I mean, I'm curious kind of when you now look at the season and kind of how you guys constructed the roster, if you think it kind of impacted what you guys, how you guys have performed through, obviously, with only one game left.
Yeah, I think there's no question that obviously if you had more, guys that had been here and less new faces, you would have had more continuity early, without question, which would have helped, no doubt about it. But I also think too, as we built the guys we've added, we brought a lot of guys here that had more than 1 year to play. So we're going to get a lot of those guys back for next year, which is huge, and to have a lot more continuity. And even just as you look forward, and just the goals for us to add to our roster, there won't be near as many spots to add based on the amount of high school guys we're bringing in, and also guys that are returning. And so that's a good thing for us. So yeah, I think there's no question. You think about our quarterback room, having a chance to bring back, the two guys that have done all the playing this year, and bring back your starting quarterback and have a good young guy that's already here with us. It's going to be here for another year as well. So you're going to have a chance to have that continuity. But so I think you add as many guys as we added. It's hard, without question. We still had opportunities to win some close games, and so. But I think it does make it challenging, without question. So you want to continue to have it to where you don't have as many in a given cycle. But I think per that situation, I think it was what we needed to do. And at the same time, hopefully we'll reap the benefits of that, moving forward in 2024.
And you mentioned kind of the conversations you had with kids, after the season. There's a kind of a transfer frenzy with guys going in. How prepared are you kind of after that last game, knowing kind of what direction guys go in, and how is it hard to read the guys' sort of psyche and kind of anticipate who's staying, who's going, just kind of the challenges of that now for coaches?
Yeah, I do think it's definitely. I mean, you had several coaches have commented about this, last few days in their press conferences about what's happening next, and And so, but I do think you have to have a good pulse for your guys, and there's always going to probably be a few surprises sometimes, but I think you can kind of usually tell. I've met with several guys already, kind of have an idea kind of where we are with that. And so I do think, though, but it is about having open communication with your guys and being able to have that with them prior to, even this Sunday, for the most part, so you can be able to know where guys, what they're thinking and kind of where they're at and kind of what we're thinking and where we're at with them as well. So I do feel like it's definitely a new era of reality that we're dealing with. But I think if you have those, relationship building is where it needs to be. You'll kind of know where a guy is, where he just feels like he can be honest with you and you can be honest with him, about where things are. And so there's no doubt that we got to, there's a 4-day window now after that. This game is over to where it's now a dead period. So coaches don't go out and recruit. They're going to be with their guys. We'll be with our guys. And I'll be spending a ton of time meeting with players as well as our coaches. So, yeah, it's definitely an important time. But I think the relationship piece is still critical there to be able to have those open, honest conversations about what's next.
Thanks, Coach.
Daniel, then Pete.
Yeah, kind of adding on to that, you mentioned earlier some of the conversations you've had, and also the, increase in practice reps as well for some of the younger guys on your roster. Has there been anybody that's kind of stood out to you with some of these increased reps? And then what have you kind of learned about your freshman class as well, the past week?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. Tootie Collins is one that really sticks out to me. I think, he's really a guy that we had a chance to bring him along here these last few weeks and just to see the way he's developed, as I'm excited for him. I know Robbie Harrison's not a true freshman. He's a redshirt freshman, but he did come to us, from another school, and I'm just really excited about how he's grown and developed as well. Mari Farrell's another one I'm super pumped about. We've obviously seen what Jordan Shaw can do and excited about his future with us. So those are guys. I think Derek Bowler's another one that has really kind of come on here at the last part of the season, has really caught my eye in the way he's done things. And our young tight ends, Sam West and Anthony Miller, two guys that we've gotten, had a chance to get involved as well. So I really like this class of guys. Brock Lowry's not one we've talked about much, from a, getting reps perspective, but he's been with our scouts every day. We've actually moved him up with the older guys to give him some opportunity to do some inside run work and working on the run reads. And because I see him every day throwing to our scout team, but really, really like, who he is and what he can become as a player for us. So I think it's a really good class of guys that, Austin Barrett's another one that I'll mention that I'm really excited about and his future development. So it's a good group. But it's a group of guys we got to build off of and keep growing and allow them to have a really, really big offseason so they can have an impact in 2024.
All right, Pete, last one.
Yeah, hey, Tom, can you kind of assess the way practice has gone this week? Have you seen the intensity, the focus that you wanted?
Tell you what, very intense, high energy. I thought yesterday was our best one of the year on that day of the week. Today was similar. Guys understand what we're playing for. There's a lot of passion towards the bucket game and what it means to so many people here currently and in the past and moving forward. So like for our guys, they're just being able to be pros and come to work and show up with great energy and practice really hard. So we know we got to play our very, very best. And we got to bring energy. We got to bring tremendous passion to this game. It's what it's going to take. And I love the way the guys have shown up these last couple of days. Expect it to continue for tomorrow and into the weekend.
All right, thanks, Tom.
Appreciate you guys. Have an awesome day. Happy Thanksgiving. Elio.